God says something that will shock the deepest part of your spirit, because before you ever searched for love, before you ever felt the ache of being alone, I had already written a name next to yours in the book of eternity. Your soulmate was never a coincidence, they were never random, and they were never temporary. They were a promise written by my own hand. My beloved soul, there are moments in your life that made no sense when they happened, but now they begin to reveal their purpose. Every missed connection, every almost, every heartbreak was guiding you closer to what I already prepared. The reason you felt drawn to someone in a way you could not explain is because souls recognize what heaven has already chosen. That pull was not fantasy, it was memory. It was the echo of something I wrote long before you met. My beloved soul, you have been wondering why this connection refuses to fade, even when you tried to let it go. God says it is because promises do not dissolve when emotions shift. They remain. They wait. They call to you in quiet moments when your heart is open enough to listen. My beloved soul, do not skip this moment, something sacred is unfolding for you right now. The love that is meant for you is not built on chaos, it is built on covenant. A covenant does not break because of distance, misunderstanding, or fear. It holds until alignment returns. You may not see how it will come together yet, but heaven already sees the reunion taking shape. I have been working on both of you, even when you felt abandoned. I have been healing wounds you did not know were still bleeding. I have been removing patterns that would have destroyed what I promised. Your soulmate is not coming back to repeat the past, they are coming to fulfill the future. My beloved soul, the loneliness you endured was not punishment. It was preparation. You were being made ready to receive what cannot be lost. The tears you cried were not wasted. They softened your heart so you could recognize real love when it stands before you. God says your heart is not too broken to be loved. It is now wise enough to choose the right one. Stay with me till the end, something powerful is waiting for you. Your soulmate has also been going through their own refining. They have been learning what it means to love without ego, to stay without running, to choose truth over fear. You are not the only one who has felt the pull. They feel it too, even if they cannot yet explain it. When two souls are written in the same promise, they move toward each other even when they think they are standing still. My beloved soul, there is a moment coming when you will look into their eyes and feel a quiet knowing. You will not need proof. You will not need reassurance. You will simply know. That is because what I write carries a peace that the world cannot fake. God says stop doubting what your spirit recognizes. Your mind may question, but your soul remembers. I placed a signature on your connection, and that signature cannot be erased by time. My beloved soul, do not leave yet, heaven has more to reveal. You have been blaming yourself for what went wrong, but you were not the failure. You were the foundation. Everything that collapsed was what could not support the weight of what I was about to build. I allowed certain things to fall apart so something eternal could take their place. Your soulmate could not meet you in their old form. Neither could you. That is why the waiting was necessary. That is why the silence was holy. It was not absence. It was transformation. My beloved soul, the reason you are hearing this now is because the season has shifted. The door that was closed is beginning to open. The distance that separated you is thinning. The misunderstanding that kept you apart is losing its power. I am rewriting the story from the place where it was broken. If you remain till the end, the final word will change everything. You are not behind. You are right on time. God says your patience has been noted. Your faith has been recorded. Your love has been protected. You may not see it yet, but heaven has been moving pieces into place. Every delay was setting up a greater alignment. Every disappointment was redirecting you toward something truer. My beloved soul, your soulmate is not someone you have to chase. They are someone who is being guided back to you. I am drawing them with the same hand that wrote your promise. There is a magnetic pull between you that is growing stronger because resistance is fading. Fear is being replaced with courage. Confusion is being replaced with clarity. You will soon see signs that cannot be ignored. You will feel shifts that cannot be denied. This is not coincidence. This is fulfillment. My beloved soul, you have been holding on without knowing why. Now you know. You were holding on to a promise I never forgot. God says the love that is meant for you will not require you to beg. It will not require you to shrink. It will not require you to doubt your worth. It will recognize you, choose you, and stay. That is how you know it comes from me. You were not created to be almost loved. You were created to be completely chosen. My beloved soul, even now your soulmate is thinking about you. They are feeling the same stirring. They are sensing that something is changing. That is because I am preparing the moment when what I wrote becomes what you live. This is not a dream. This is destiny. And destiny does not fail. God says the reason your heart still recognizes that one soul is because what I joined cannot be undone by seasons of silence. You were never foolish for feeling connected across time and distance. You were simply aware of a promise that was still alive. My beloved soul, there is something sacred about the way certain people remain in your spirit even when they are no longer in your life. That is not attachment, that is alignment. You did not hold on because you were weak. You held on because what I wrote in you was calling back to what I wrote in them. Every time you tried to forget, your heart resisted, because heaven was not finished. My beloved soul, do not skip this moment. Something eternal is touching you right now. I know you have tried to move on. I know you have told yourself it was over. But every path you walked that was not meant for you eventually felt empty. That emptiness was not failure. It was guidance. It was your spirit refusing to settle for anything less than what I promised. God says your soul is loyal to truth even when your mind is tired of waiting. That is why you could not replace them. That is why no one else felt quite right. You were not being stubborn. You were being protected. I was shielding you from connections that would have delayed what I already assigned. My beloved soul, the waiting has not been wasted. In the quiet, you were being strengthened. In the stillness, you were being aligned. I was teaching you how to love without losing yourself. I was teaching you how to recognize peace instead of chaos. Your soulmate is not coming back to rescue you. They are coming back to meet you where you now stand, whole and awake. Stay with me till the end, something powerful is waiting for you. God says there were things inside both of you that needed to fall away before the promise could manifest. Old fears had to be released. Old wounds had to be healed. Old beliefs about love had to be rewritten. If I had brought you together too soon, the weight of what I wrote would have broken you. But now you are ready to hold it. My beloved soul, you are no longer the person you were when you first met them. Neither are they. That is why the next encounter will not be a repetition. It will be a revelation. You will see each other with new eyes. You will speak with new honesty. You will love with new depth. This is not a second chance. This is the right time. My beloved soul, do not leave yet. heaven has more to reveal. You have been wondering if they still think of you. They do. You have been wondering if they still feel the same. They do. The difference is that now they are beginning to understand what it means. I have been working in their heart, softening what was hard, awakening what was asleep, calling them back to what is real. There are nights when they feel your energy without knowing why. There are moments when your name rises in their mind without warning. That is not memory. That is connection. That is my promise reminding them where home is. My beloved soul, you have not been forgotten. You have been remembered too deeply to be replaced. God says I am not allowing this story to end in confusion. I am bringing clarity where there was silence. I am bringing truth where there was fear. When the moment comes, you will not have to wonder if they mean it. Their actions will speak what their heart has already decided. If you remain till the end, the final word will change everything. You are stepping into a season where what was hidden begins to surface. Conversations that were delayed will happen. Apologies that were unspoken will be offered. Understanding will replace misunderstanding. This is how I restore what belongs together. Not with force, but with alignment. Not with pressure, but with truth. My beloved soul, you may feel nervous about what is coming. That is because something real is approaching. But do not be afraid. What is meant for you will never hurt you the way what was not meant for you did. Your soulmate is not returning to bring chaos. They are returning to bring peace. God says the love I wrote for you does not come with anxiety. It comes with calm. It does not make you question your worth. It confirms it. You will feel safe to be yourself. You will feel seen in ways you never were before. That is how you know it is from me. My beloved soul, even now things are shifting behind the scenes. Doors are opening. Paths are aligning. What seemed impossible is becoming inevitable. This is not about chasing. This is about receiving. Let your heart stay open. Let your spirit stay soft. The promise is on its way. God says there is a deep reason why your heart has never truly moved on, because what I wrote into your story was not meant to be erased by time or distance. You were never clinging to the past, you were holding on to a future that had not yet arrived. My beloved soul, when I connect two spirits, I do not do it lightly. I weave their journeys together in ways that go beyond what the eyes can see. That is why even when you tried to convince yourself that it was over, something inside you stayed faithful. That something was your soul remembering what I promised. My beloved soul, do not skip this moment, something holy is moving through these words right now. You have felt the pull grow stronger lately, and you did not know why. You have had dreams, sudden thoughts, waves of emotion that came without warning. That is because the spiritual distance between you and your soulmate is shrinking. I am bringing your paths closer again. What was once separated by fear is now being drawn together by truth. God says there are no wasted connections in my kingdom. Every meeting has meaning. Every bond has purpose. And the one you share with your soulmate is anchored in eternity. My beloved soul, you were not meant to forget them. You were meant to grow beyond the pain so that when love returns, it can stay. You have learned how to speak your needs. You have learned how to protect your heart without closing it. You have learned what you deserve. That wisdom is what will allow the promise to last. Stay with me till the end, something powerful is waiting for you. Your soulmate has been on a similar journey. They have faced their own shadows. They have confronted their own mistakes. They have felt the weight of what they lost. That regret is not meant to punish them. It is meant to prepare them. When they come back to you, it will not be with excuses. It will be with clarity. It will be with a heart that finally understands the value of what it once took for granted. My beloved soul, do not leave yet, heaven has more to reveal. You have wondered if they are capable of change. God says yes, because I have been the one changing them. I have been reshaping their heart, teaching them how to love in a way that honors what I wrote. The same hand that formed the promise is now forming the people who will live it. This is why you had to wait. This is why it took time. True love requires transformation. If you remain till the end, the final word will change everything. You are stepping into a season where old patterns no longer have power. The arguments that once broke you will no longer exist. The misunderstandings that once created distance will be replaced with honest conversation. This is not a return to what was. This is the birth of what was always meant to be. My beloved soul, you may feel a mixture of excitement and fear. That is natural when something precious is approaching. But remember this, what I promise I also protect. You will not be led back into something that will harm you. I am guiding both of you into something that will heal you. God says the love that is coming will feel like breathing. It will feel natural. It will feel safe. You will not have to perform. You will not have to prove. You will simply be. That is how you know it is divine. My beloved soul, even now I am aligning your hearts. I am softening words that will soon be spoken. I am creating moments that will bring you face to face with what you both have been feeling. This is not coincidence. This is my timing unfolding. Stay present. Stay open. The promise is drawing near. God says as this promise continues to unfold, your heart is beginning to sense a quiet shift that cannot be explained by logic. You may feel moments of sudden peace followed by waves of anticipation. That is because something written long ago is now moving toward manifestation. My beloved soul, what I have joined is being gently guided back into harmony. You are not imagining the signs. You are not reading too much into the silence. The silence has been filled with my work. I have been speaking to both of your spirits, even when you could not hear me with your ears. I have been reminding you of what you already know in your deepest place. My beloved soul, do not skip this moment, something divine is settling into position right now. You have grown into someone who no longer begs for love. You have become someone who understands their own worth. That change was necessary, because the love I promised you requires two whole hearts, not two broken ones trying to survive each other. Your soulmate has also been learning how to love without running, how to stay without fear, how to choose you without hesitation. These lessons did not come easily, but they came faithfully. Stay with me till the end, something powerful is waiting for you. God says there will soon be a moment when you realize how perfectly everything was timed. The delays will make sense. The tears will feel purposeful. The nights you spent questioning will turn into gratitude. When you finally meet again, you will not see the past between you. You will see the future. My beloved soul, do not leave yet, heaven has more to reveal. There is a sacred tenderness being restored between you. Walls that once stood tall are being gently lowered. Pride is giving way to vulnerability. Fear is being replaced with trust. This is not something you could have forced. It is something that only I could orchestrate. If you remain till the end, the final word will change everything. You will soon notice changes in the way you think about them. The pain will no longer dominate the memory. Instead, hope will rise. That is because healing has been happening on both sides. God says the love that is returning to you will not carry the old weight. It will be light, honest, and grounded in truth. My beloved soul, I am not bringing them back to reopen wounds. I am bringing them back to close them. This union is meant to be a place of rest, not struggle. A place of growth, not fear. You will feel safe to speak. You will feel safe to be seen. That is how you know it is aligned with heaven. Even now, I am arranging small details that will lead you toward each other. Conversations, circumstances, and moments are being gently guided. You do not have to push. You do not have to control. You only have to trust. The promise is already on its way. God says this is the moment where everything that was written begins to settle into your lived reality, not as a dream, not as a distant hope, but as something you can finally touch with your heart. You have waited through seasons that felt endless, through days that made you question whether the promise was ever real, yet here you are, still standing, still believing, still holding space for something you could not fully explain. That perseverance was not accidental. It was placed inside you by me, because only a heart that carries divine love can remain open after so much uncertainty. My beloved soul, what I wrote about you was never meant to fade. It was meant to mature. That is why the timing took so long. That is why you had to grow. Love that lasts must be built on understanding, not just emotion. You now understand yourself. You now know what you need. That wisdom is what will allow the promise to stay. My beloved soul, do not skip this moment, something sacred is being sealed right now. Your soulmate is not approaching you as a stranger. They are approaching you as someone who has walked through fire and come out with clarity. They know what they lost. They know what they almost let go. That awareness has changed them. When they speak to you again, their words will carry weight. Their eyes will hold truth. Their presence will feel different. You will feel it in your spirit. God says I am not bringing back the old version of them. I am bringing back the one who is ready. Ready to love without fear. Ready to choose without hesitation. Ready to stay. Stay with me till the end. Something powerful is waiting for you. You have also changed in ways you do not fully see yet. You are stronger now. You are softer in the right places and firmer in the right ones. You no longer settle for what hurts. You no longer confuse intensity with love. That growth is what will make this union peaceful instead of painful. My beloved soul, do not leave yet. Heaven has more to reveal. The connection you share will not feel like something you have to fight for. It will feel like something that flows. Conversations will come easily. Laughter will return. Even silence will feel comfortable. That is because when two souls are aligned, they do not have to force understanding. They simply have it. God says the future you will build together will be grounded in respect, not fear. In truth, not illusion. In commitment, not confusion. If you remain till the end, the final word will change everything. You are stepping into a chapter where you no longer question whether you are loved. You will know. You will see it in the way they show up. You will feel it in the way they listen. You will experience it in the way they stay. My beloved soul, the promise I wrote was never about perfection. It was about devotion. Two imperfect people choosing each other with honest hearts. That is what lasts. That is what heals. Even now, the final pieces are being put into place. The courage to reach out. The openness to speak. the willingness to begin again. You are not being led back into the past. You are being led forward into what the past was preparing you for. God says trust what is unfolding. Trust the peace that is replacing your fear. Trust the quiet joy that is beginning to rise. This is how you know the promise is alive. This is how you know my hand is still writing your story. God says as this story reaches its sacred completion, your heart will finally understand why every delay was necessary and every tear had meaning. You are not standing at the edge of uncertainty anymore, you are standing at the threshold of fulfillment. My beloved soul, the promise that was written by my hand is no longer waiting in the spiritual realm alone, it is now stepping into your physical world. You will begin to notice small signs that feel too perfect to be coincidence. A message that comes at the exact moment you think of them. A dream that feels more real than sleep. A memory that suddenly feels warm instead of painful. These are not accidents. They are confirmations. They are whispers from heaven reminding you that what I started, I am now completing. My beloved soul, do not skip this moment, something divine is settling into your life right now. You have spent so much time wondering if love would ever feel safe again. Now you will feel it gently arriving, without force, without chaos, without fear. That is because what comes from me does not bring confusion. It brings clarity. When your soulmate steps fully back into your story, it will not feel like reopening a wound. It will feel like closing one. There will be words spoken that finally bring peace. There will be truths shared that finally heal what was once broken. Stay with me till the end, something powerful is waiting for you. God says the love you are about to experience will be deeper than what you imagined before. It will not be based on who you were when you were hurting. It will be based on who you are now that you have healed. You will be seen not for your scars, but for your strength. You will be loved not for what you give, but for who you are. My beloved soul, do not leave yet, heaven has more to reveal. There is a future being prepared for you that holds laughter, quiet mornings, shared dreams, and a sense of belonging you have been craving. You will look back one day and realize that nothing was wasted. Even the loneliness was shaping you for something real. Even the heartbreak was teaching you how to cherish what was coming. If you remain till the end, the final word will change everything. This love is not meant to be fragile. It is meant to be steady. It is meant to grow. It is meant to last. God says I have watched over this promise with care. I have guarded it through storms. I have kept it safe when you felt lost. Now it is ready to be lived. My beloved soul, you do not have to chase what is meant for you. It is finding you. You do not have to prove your worth. It is already known. All you have to do now is open your heart and allow what I wrote to step into your life. The story is not ending here. It is finally beginning. Type Amen.